guys, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me talking about the books that I plan to read in the month of July. Some of these books are going to be rereads, some of them are going to be new books, some of them I'm buddy reading, which you guys, I feel like you know the drill when I make these videos, wrap-ups, and TBR tend to have me saying quite a lot. I am reading this book as a buddy read with so and so. So let's just get into it before I completely lose my mind, because again, still no contacts. I literally look like I'm a pig right now with how my nose looks in my very blurry situation. It's fine, I'm fine. The first book that I plan on reading in the month of July is one that I've already started reading and I'm like almost halfway through-ish. Hopefully I'm done with this by tomorrow, and that is The Canterville Ghost, The Happy Prince and Other Stories by Oscar Wilde. This is a collection of short stories from Oscar Wilde that I haven't quite gotten a chance to read just quite yet. I tried reading it yesterday. I did read it yesterday, and I was like, huh, some of these stories sound really familiar right now. Did I ever like read them while I was in school? No. Turns out that the first like third of this book is from his children's collection, and I own that one. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish this in July, or like literally tomorrow. I'm a little over halfway, and the stories aren't like too difficult to read either, so wish me luck, because I have other things I need to get to. But so far I'm enjoying this. You know me, I love Oscar Wilde, but I'll talk more about this in my wrap-up for July. The next book that I plan on reading during the month of July is actually an ebook, and that is A Violet Fire by Kelsey Quick. This is all I know is that this is a paranormal romance involving vampires. My friend TB has talked about this book quite a lot, and it was like free to download on Tor, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give TB a buddy to scream about this book, and I'm gonna go ahead and read it. So I'm hoping to get to it this month, and hopefully I'm gonna enjoy it. I haven't read a paranormal like romance in a long time, like that involved vampires, since probably I did a reread of the Night World series last year. So I'm hoping I really enjoy this book. Along the same vein of TB involved books, I'm going to be doing a reread of Fallen by Lauren Kate. This is the first book in a quartet where we see Luce, who has been sent to a boarding school after the events of a fire that has ended up with her severely burned, and a fellow classmate of hers dead. There we find out a lot of things, like the mysterious, beautiful Daniel and the also gorgeous Cameron. This is a paranormal romance, this time involving angels. I loved this series when I first read it, as you guys can tell by the spine, and like there's water damage on this book. This is very well loved. I have not read this in quite some time. I think I read the last book back in 2014. So I'm finally rereading this book, not only for TB, but because the two of us want to watch the movie together, because Jeremy Irvine is gorgeous, and they did a wonderful job casting him for Daniel. The next book is another buddy read, and my friends Lisa and Andrea and I are planning on buddy reading Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. Elizabeth Acevedo is the author of The Poet X, which, as you guys all know, is one of my favorite books of all time. I finally, speaking of Andrea and Lisa, they ended up buying me Clap When You Land, The Poet X, and With Fire on High for my birthday, so they were wonderful surprises. Thank you girls again for those surprises. But now we all have Clap When You Land, and we're going to be buddy reading it. I really have no idea what this book is about. All I know is that we're back to Elizabeth's kind of like bread and butter. I believe it's told in dual perspective, and yeah, I really have no idea what this book is about. But everyone has been saying it's a really good book. There have been a couple of mixed reviews saying it's not like her best out of the 3 books that she has written, but I'm excited to get into it regardless, because like this is one of my most anticipated reads of 2020, even though I really did not know it was coming out until like probably a couple months before the actual release date. But I was highly anticipating another Elizabeth Acevedo book. So going in the same vein of Lisa and Andrea, I believe we are also planning on doing a buddy read of A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. This is an adult high fantasy novel centered around Kel, who is the only traveler that can jump between different Londons. There's like Red London, Blue London, all those different colors. I ended up reading the first chapter of this book for a writing advice video, and I really enjoyed it. You can tell it's adult, but it has like a bit more of an NA kind of reading to it, if that makes sense. Like not as dense as adult, but not as light as NA, like just a nice marriage between the two, which is how I would like to write, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But I'm excited to read this. It's been on my TBR for a hot minute now, and like I said, I've read the first chapter for a writing advice video and I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad to be picking this up, and if I am completely wrong and somehow we are not doing a buddy read of this book, I will be reading this book on my own. This is fine. The last buddy read that I will be doing for the month of July is Under the Youlla Trees by... who's that book by? I'll throw the book on the screen and we'll figure out who it is by together. As you guys know, some friends of mine from the original group chat have been trying to read more adult fiction, and so we've been integrating it slowly into our TBRs, and we have like a monthly like buddy read for it, and this is the book that we chose. This was also an option for our June book of the month, and yeah, I believe we're going to be planning a live show with this book or making it into an actual book club, and if that's the case, I'll be leaving information that we have for that book when we decide that situation. But I'm excited to get in this book. This is queer, I believe. We have representation, and I'm just hoping that I'm going to enjoy this book as much as I have enjoyed the past few books, which like right now, both the books that we have read are like at a nice 3-star average rating, so like we have the space to grow is a little... we have some space to grow here. Moving right along, the next book in my TBR is The Gospel of Loki by Joanne M. Harris. This is the first book, I believe, in the Loki trilogy. All I know is that this is an adult high fantasy retelling of the Loki myth. I really have no idea what this book is about. I saw this book on someone's Instagram, I forget who, and I was really intrigued by the cover. No, I didn't see this book. I saw the sequel, and I was really intrigued by the cover, so I ended up purchasing the first book off of, I think, Book Depository. Yeah, because Book Depository has like the UK covers, solely because it was like foiled and really pretty. I'm excited to get into this. I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy it. Everyone really loves this like duology or trilogy, so I'm hoping I'm going to be on that same vein. Again, it's adult high fantasy, so I don't know why I decided to choose a bunch of adult high fantasy for this month, or a handful of adult high fantasy for this month, but you know, I seem to hate myself, and that seems to be a growing theme here, so we're just gonna go with it. But like I said, I am excited, and I probably will have a review for this book when I get a chance to read it. Hopefully I get a chance to read it this month. I've been feeling a little reading slumpy recently. Like, I haven't been like in a full slump, but I've definitely slowed down my reading, which I'm just like, not the time. Not the time. And finally, the last book that I plan on reading for the month of July is Blanca Iroha by Anna Marie McLemore. This is, I believe, is this their latest release, or there's another one coming out? Fairly sure this is Anna Marie McLemore's latest release. I believe they have another one slated to come out sometime this year. I could be wrong, but all I know is this is a Swan Lake retelling involving two sisters, and I'm very excited. As you guys know, Anna Marie McLemore is one of my favorite authors of all time, and I love reading their work. I think I have one more book of theirs that I have not gotten a chance to read yet, and that is The Weight of Our Feathers. So I'm very excited. As usual, it's gonna break my heart, and I'm gonna feel a lot of things. Yeah, that's all I can say, really, because I don't know much about this book. I feel like if you're gonna go into an Anna Marie McLemore book, the best thing you should do is to have like very baseline knowledge on what it's about, because I feel like with the magical realism aspects that happen in their books, you and the amount of layers, you kind of can't know a ton, or else you're just going to come in confused or with expectations, and it's just not going to work out very well. But I'm very excited to pick this up, and like the cover is gorgeous, and like I love all the reds and the whites. It's going to be a good time. But that is it for the books I plan on reading in July. Not the biggest TBR that I've done so far, but considering, like I said, I've been feeling a little slumpy, I figured I'd like narrow the list down just a smidge to save me like the pain of like staring at me checking off the books on my list and being like, I have read 2 out of the 10 books that I need to read for this month. Oh no. But if you guys want me to do a review on these books, or like a currently reading situation, please let me know down below and I'll be happy to do them. If you guys have any books you want me to go ahead and read in the future months, I still have to kind of whittle down my physical TBR, but I'm hoping to like get that done in the next couple months. Hopefully by like November I'll be able to start buying books again, which is perfect for Black Friday. But until next time, hit like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in my next video, which should be my May and June wrap up. But until then, hope you guys are having a great week. Bye!